It seems like everyone is on vacation and by now settling into new rhythms. If you've traveled, you are in a new environment, seeing the world in new ways, new visuals all around you, the beach, the snow maybe, a new city, a day in Manhattan if you're staying home. You're watching your children do new things. You're creating memories and probably preserving them in many, many photos. But let's take a few moments to talk about creating a different kind of vacation memory. The memories which happen when we rest our eyes and deploy our sense of hearing. I'm speaking, of course, about active listening, and vacation is the perfect opportunity to use that miraculous capacity. It costs nothing, can happen anywhere, but it does require our attention and intention. Kind of like tefillah. We know how important it is, but we all need reminders. It takes effort to make it a habit. So here are some guidelines and reminders. Listening means giving another person our total attention, a rare commodity in these times, an expression of love. It may mean responding with soft questions rather than with your own thoughts. As in, I'm not sure I understood that. Can you explain it again? Active listening means staying quiet, even lowering the voices within our minds. It can last for 3 minutes or for 3 hours. It means suspending judgments for the moment, not offering opinions, even when we're pretty sure we're right. It means being a learner rather than a teacher. It means being a receiver rather than a transmitter of knowledge. It means making one person the most important focus of our life for a time, letting them know that we want to understand them deeply. It means hearing a child say things we've never heard them say before, which will sometimes delight us and sometimes may worry us. It is the most precious gift to give to those we love. The commitment to understanding them, the confidence that their words and feelings are worth everything to us. It deepens our connections to each other. It strengthens our children and our relationships. It's an investment in our families. You may have some questions, and I have some further thoughts. First, so what do I do with the uncomfortable moments when we hear something and we feel a need to respond to a child or a spouse or a parent or a close friend? When does that happen? Your opinions are actually important to share, and your worries really do need further discussion. But when you make space to listen carefully, you're actually giving yourself time to breathe, to consider your response, to consult with yourself and maybe with others about the best approach. A few minutes or an hour later, or the next day or week, you'll be able to say with respect, remember that conversation we had? I've been thinking about your words and I want to talk some more about it. 2, most of our daily conversation cannot and should not meet the high standards of true active listening. Our lives move fast, even when we're on vacation. And we are blessed with so many precious relationships in our lives, and they're all happening at once. But it's worth devoting real effort to the practice of active listening because it has such deep impact. And be careful not to be the only active listener in your family. Give others the chance to listen to you as well. In fact, you have permission to ask for some active listening time. I've been thinking about some things. Can we make time for me to talk? With all the active listening to others, remember also to make time to listen to yourself with compassion and understanding as you offer it to others. Praying might be a good space for that. And finally, we are not alone in our need to be heard and our need to listen. This past Shabbat we read, Gam ani shamati et nakat b'nei Israel. Hashem tells Moshe, I have been listening to the cries of my people. And we know that the redemption will culminate when Bnei Israel say at Har Sinai, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will act as Hashem requires, but we will also listen actively to Hashem. Our ongoing commitment to understand Hashem's will and his words. And a less famous, but I think familiar moment, in Shir HaShirim, the young lover, who in the metaphor represents HaKadosh Baruch Hu, says to his beloved, the Jewish people in the metaphor, Hashmi'ini et kolech ki kolech arev. Please let me listen to your voice, because your voice is beautiful for me. The most holy of our books teaches us that listening is an act of love, and that Hashem, perhaps the ultimate active listener, yearns to listen to our voices. May we do the same for all whom we love.